be honest, it's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to compare because the previous roster and this roster has different strengths, different weaknesses. Anyway, the most important that you need to work from your strengths, and by building your strengths, you're gonna uh, you're gonna be confident. You're gonna show the good Valorant in game overall.
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering VCT EMEA Stage 1. I'm here accompanied by nAts of Team Liquid, who are just coming off of a 2-1 win over Giant X in Week 3 of set split slash stage. Nats, thank you so much for taking the time. You know, a very tough series, but it was one that you guys ultimately came out on top. I mean, covering first off, you know, your thoughts, feelings, just coming off of that kind of series.
I mean, the series was hard to be honest. Like starting, to be honest, it was hard and very good series. On Lotus, we came back even that we didn't make it as a win. After that kind of Lotus, we showed very good on Icebox and Ascent also. It was a close game, but we didn't let that game go to the overtime. So overall, that's very good game, very good experience for everyone.
Yeah, it definitely was just a series of comebacks, you know, for you guys. And yes, you said that although you guys didn't win Lotus, it did set, I feel, the foundation for you guys just taking the series at the end, especially on Ascent. But yeah, just looking at first off map one, I mean, of course, you know, any other team would have just gone down and just kind of said go next and just move on to the next map as easily or as shortly. But you guys said no, you guys came back from around 12-5 down and just forcing overtime. Just how how did that even happen? You know, what was the team's like vibe slash communications like, and how did that kind of spark the comeback in map one?
I mean, first of all, we have to say that it was two incredible clutches, one from Yampi and one from Enzo. But overall, the idea that we're not thinking about the score. It's 12-5, but we're not thinking about that a lot. We're just playing our game and we're trying to show the good Valorant. And that's why I wasn't thinking a lot about that. It can be 12-1. We're still going to try our best. It's not going to be like, we're just like 12-1, let's just focus on the next map. We're still going to fight.
And how then did that kind of comeback then help play into like in a sense? Because you guys, of course, again, you guys were down at halftime, but then you kind of did the same in Lotus, but in Ascent. How did that kind of help you guys' performance later on in map three?
I think it's all about how we see the game and how, as I said, we're just playing the game and we're trying to show our best. Yes, attack side was kind of hard. It was a mistakes that we're gonna rewatch and fix. But overall, yeah, I mean, attack side was hard, but defense we showed good, and it become a good series because of that.
You talked about just looking at how the team looks at the game. Exactly what did you see in the game, and what kind of changed within the team's look of the game as the series kind of transpired, especially in like maps 2 and especially map 3.
So I'm not sure what changed. To be honest, I think it's the same. Like I more mean that it doesn't matter what score we're losing, doesn't matter what score we're winning. We're still gonna do the stuff that we plan to do, and the score. I mean, we're trying to not affect like when we're winning like super hard. So for example, the Navi game, it was for example we were winning 10-1, 10-2, and after that we lost the series, we lost the Ascent. Today we were losing 12-5, and we came back. So all of that is experience, and based on that experience, you're improving. So all of that kind of games, it's overall helps everyone.
Yeah, as you said, losing in that previous series against Navi. I mean, just sort of just looking at how you guys were able to just rebound from a series like that, because as you said, you guys kind of let this lead slip away from your grasp. But then for today, it was kind of literally the opposite. So, how did you guys kind of rebound, mentally or just kind of within the game?
I think talks and finding solutions, that's the most important. I'm not gonna say what kind of solutions because like it's an in-game stuff, but we talking, we're listening each other, and we're trying to find a way how to improve as a team. And I think that's what we did after the Navi game, and I think that's what helped us today.
Yeah, and in doing so, you finally were able to snatch your first win. Well, second win, second in the stage, and then first in 2 weeks. And then you guys are now set in a rather comfortable position of just making playoffs and also possibly compete for a spot in Shanghai. Then, for you guys to then take this second step, second win in the season so far. How do you think this will help in your guys' chances of just competing, reaching masters, and then everything else after that?
I mean, every game is important right now. That the Navi game was important. This game is important. But as I said, we're just trying to show our best. We trying to win every game. The next game against Heretics, and after that, the game against Gentlemates. We're gonna try our best. We're gonna try to win it anyway. And as you said, we still have chances, big chances, if we're gonna win both games. So we're just gonna focus on that.
I was able to talk to a few of your teammates during I was going to say lock-in, no kickoff, and and now that we've been able to just see this team compete for roughly around 4 months, um, a good number of officials, underway. How have you seen the kind of progression in the team? When I say that, what do you think are the biggest challenges slash and positives that you've seen in this new version of the team and how that kind of compares from last year's squad?
Last year squad, you mean the last roster?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to compare because the previous roster and this roster has different strengths, different weaknesses. So, but anyway, the most important that you need to work from your strengths, and by building your strengths, you're gonna uh, you're gonna be confident. You're gonna show the good Valorant in game overall. And I think after the kickoff, that was the main point for us. And I mean, we're improving. So slowly we're improving. So we won the second game today. We're gonna keep doing the same stuff for the next game, for the game after that. So we're gonna be keep focusing on that. And I think the and the most important part for us is just keep improving and not stop.
I understand if you don't want to share too much about this. I understand, but what would you say is the team's biggest strengths?
I would say maybe creativity, if we can say it. I think that's the most like the if we're gonna talk and if I'm not gonna sit and spoil the most of the stuff like about the team, I would say it's creativity.
And then what about weakness?
Oh, weakness I cannot say. I'm sorry. If
Okay.
if I'm gonna say weakness, that's against me.
Okay. All right. I understand that, I really appreciate it, but I felt the need to ask. But yeah, I really do appreciate, your answer on that. And yeah, like, I want to ask you about, how it's been playing with your new teammates in TL, the ex Apex Core trio, and just having to integrate them with you and Yampy. How has that kind of process been able? Or how has that process been for you in particular, Nets?
To be honest, for myself, it's second of all, now it's a full new roster for me. There is no players that I was playing before. So, for example, previously it was Redgar that I was playing with like for a long time in Gambit. So now it's a full new roster. Everyone is new for me. I mean, yeah, Yampi from previous year, but I mean that there is no one from my previous team. So that's also something new for me, and that's interesting for me. And I like it, to be honest. What's happening, what mistakes we're achieving, what mistakes we're facing, what weaknesses we're facing, and I'm happy that everyone is trying to improve. That's the most important part, as I said, and everyone wants to win.
If there's one thing that you feel changed the most for you, comparing last year and this year, and although I do say this, we're not even like 3 4 months into the entire thing of 2024, but still, what would be that one thing that changed the most for you?
Oh, I mean, there is definitely something changed. It's just I need to think what exactly was it, because it's not like something big. I mean, yes, IGL changed. That's the most obvious thing, I guess. The idea, how, for example, Enzo sees the game and how the Redgar sees the game. So, for example, I was playing for 3 years, and how long? I don't know, Gambit and plus Liquid previous year. I was playing with how Redgar sees the game. Now I play how the Enzo sees the game. So I think the one of the things that is different for me is the way how Enzo sees the game, and I think I will stay on that.
Going a little bit into that. How does Enzo see the game? Without revealing too much, of course.
Uh, mm, Without revealing, it's going to be hard to say. I would say there is a big difference the way how he calls, the way how Redgar calls. Even today's game, you can see. I know how Redgar is calling. Now I know how Enzo is calling, and I can say that there is a big difference. But it's hard to say it without saying something inside of the team. That's why I'm not. I'm sorry. I cannot answer that question.
No, it's okay. I really do appreciate it one more time. And yeah, that's it. A good way to just continue the season for Tio and most importantly for you, Nets. And that's I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for taking the time for doing this interview. Really appreciate it. And yeah, best of luck goes to you and the team for next week and also everything beyond that.
Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.